Hey guys, I was just about done editing my video. In fact, the only thing really I had left to do was put the soundtrack in and upload it. And then I got to thinking about it. I'm really not happy with the format of what I've been doing for videos and all that good stuff. And I wanted to reshoot this introduction to tell you what I'm going to start doing with my formatting. In fact, I'm looking at a screen right now, and I'm not looking directly at the camera. That's going to be fine. You get used to it. I'm going to completely change up the format. I'm going to do a lot more experimentation, all these things, and I'm going to tell you what worked, what didn't work. Now, in this video, I used I made up a spice mixture, a little bit of a Latin flair to it. That spice mixture was killer. It's absolutely perfect on this turkey. You should try it. I used this smoke dual channel wireless transmitter thing from ThermoWorks. This is fantastic. I got it on pre-order whenever they sent me the email. I got on the pre-order list, so I got it really quick. I'm happy I did this. This is going to be a great addition to the family. The one thing that didn't work, well, kind of not really didn't work. Breast meat on a turkey cooks to 165. It's done. If you don't want it dry, stop right there. Now, the thigh meat and legs, they need to cook to a higher temperature. They need to go to about 185. So if you cook the breast to 165, the thighs are not done. At the end of the video, I took the whole turkey off, and what I really should have done at that time was took the leg quarters off and put them back on the grill. I wound up, after cutting the leg quarters off, I did put them back on the grill, but it was after the turkey had rested, which is fine, because I had a big squash on there anyway, and you'll see that later in the video. And by the way, I used that squash to make a soup, and the wife was real happy. But I didn't make a video of that, but it'll come up in the future. Anyway, I hope you guys stick around, like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe, all that good stuff. Anyway, appreciate you. For our seasoning mixture for our turkey, we have our Achiote, the annatto seed stuff. That's 2 tablespoons. I have 1 tablespoon of black pepper, 1 tablespoon chili ancho, 1 tablespoon granulated garlic, 1 tablespoon of salt. We're going to give this a good mix, and this will be our seasoning mixture for our turkey. So here's our turkey. I've done a little bit of prep. I've pulled the neck out, pulled the giblet bag out, and I've washed the turkey, and I've given it an initial drying off. Dry it a little bit more. There we go. I'm not going to get too carried away with that. Now, first thing I want to do, this little thing right here, this is very inaccurate. I don't use them. I've got a different way of taking care of the monitoring the temperature. I'm going to take this piece of skin here. I'm going to take that off. Whatever this is, that's coming out. I want to make sure I got a hole to go through. This right here is a little bit of extra fat. I don't want that on there because I want to try to prevent flare-ups, which the pit barrel cooker is pretty good about not flaring up, but I don't really need that fat. Now, this wire thing here, we're going to get rid of that, because one of the problems with cooking a turkey is that you want the legs cooked at a different temperature than you do the breast. The food police say 165 for turkey, which 165 is safe, but for dark meat, you want it to actually cook it to a little higher temperature, somewhere around 180, 185. That way it gets a little better texture to it. Now we're going to take this thing out, squeeze it, comes right out. There we go. That looks pretty good. Now I get rid of my scissors and all this stuff. I'm going to put this neck and everything over here, get rid of that. Add this little doodad here. I'll be back here in just a second. Basically, our turkey's ready to start seasoning. I've got some oil. You can use pretty much any oil you cook with. This just happens to be a light olive oil, but you can use canola oil, peanut oil. Peanut oil works good. I'm a big fan of peanut oil. And we're just coating the skin to help it crisp up and help this seasoning mix stick. I've got about 2 tablespoons of oil. Flip this turkey over. Little day at the spa, getting an oil massage. There we go. That's pretty good. Now, we're going to start seasoning this with our seasoning mixture. Now, you don't really want to get this on you because that annatto kind of stains a little bit, especially your clothes. We're going to rub this in real good. Now I'm doing this ahead of time, and while not too far ahead, just I'm going to get my grill going later. That'll take about an hour, and so this is going to sit on this skin for about an hour. Now this is going to be a real pretty bird when we pull it out. Now I've got a little bit of this left. I'm going to put this right here in the center. And we're going to kind of rub that around into the inside of the cavity. All right, there we go. There's our bird. It's time to get the grill going. Oh, ooh, almost forgot. I got to put this thing on here. Now what I'm going to do is I want to go up the neck. Should be a hole right here. There we go. And then we're going to need to put that on just like that. And that turkey's going to hang. It's going to hang from this. Anyway, you'll see that later. Okay, so we're getting set up outside. I've got some charcoal in the chimney. It's on the side burner for the gas grill. It's starting up. I've got this basket full of charcoal. We're going to go ahead and put this in here. I'm going to go ahead and put one of my rods in. I can't put both of them in because this big turkey's kind of a pain to get in there, or you can't get them in there. You just got to wait. Our cooker's ready to cook now. The fire's going pretty good. And one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stick one of our probes right here in the breast. I'm using a 2-channel heat detector, monitor, whatever you want to call it. It's from Thermal Works. It's called Smoke. That's, you know, it's just a 2-channel wireless unit. Anyway, put the lid over there. I could hang it, do the fancy horseshoe thing. That's what they're for. Anyway, I tend to wind up always putting it on the ground. So now I've got my turkey. I'm going to hang it like this. I've got one of the rods already in there. Once I get the turkey in here past the rods, then I can put the other one in. Now that's going to hang right there. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this temperature probe. Okay, that's not too hot yet. Well, maybe it is. I'm going to put that over here. There we go. Put the lid on. Make sure the lid sits down there. Oh yeah, that temperature probe is blocking that, so that's not going to work. There we go. That should work better. There we go. Lid's on. I'll turn this thing on. Turn this one on. Now I've got my cook temperature for the pit set between 225 and 325. If it gets outside of that range, it'll alarm, let me know. Okay. I've got my temperature probe for the turkey. I've got it set for 165. It's in the breast. So when the turkey hits 165, it's going to alarm and let me know. We're getting close to our target temperature. and our barrel temperature is dropping down. Meat temperature is 158.5, so we're getting pretty close. But I want the temperature inside the barrel to come up so that it'll help make sure the skin's crispy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna set that lid ajar a little bit, get some more air in there. That should increase the temperature and make sure our skin turns out nice and crispy. And look at there, our alarm's going off. Let's go ahead and turn this thing off. We'll unplug these. Turn you off, come on. Put you out down here out of the way. Now I got a squash. We're gonna cook that also. Because what I do is anytime I get done cooking, I put something in there because there's usually charcoal and a lot of heat left. I can do sweet potatoes or something like that. It all turns out pretty good. I hate wasting all that heat. So anyway, for right now, let's get this off of there. Woo-wee! That thing's smoking. Let's get this out of here. Just gonna put this to the side. We're gonna pull this probe out. Now I did move that around because I wasn't happy with what was going on. It looked to me like the temperature was coming up too fast. And sure enough, the first time I put it in there, I was touching bone, and that's why it was coming up so fast. So anyway, I'm gonna lift up on this. I'm gonna pull this out because I can't get the turkey in or out. Anyway, look at that. That looks good to me. There we go. Now, I want to put that squash in here. So let's get this grated in here. Go ahead and take this out. Hang on, let me. There we go. Trying to do too many things at one time. There we go. We're going to put this squash on here. Woo! Put our rebar back in. Put our lid on nice and tight. And now we're going to wrap this bird in foil. And then we're going to tint it for about 30 minutes. Now a lot of people go, oh, won't it get cold or anything? No, it'll still be warm, don't worry. And if you tint it, it'll actually be juicier whenever you go to cut into it. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this in foil and we'll get back with you here in a little while. It's been almost 30 minutes. Notice I said almost, I didn't quite wait 30 minutes. I couldn't stand it. Anyway, turkey's still warm. There's Abby, she's running. Anyway, look at this. Look at the color on this thing. There, that's nice and moist. It's got a little bit of a smoke ring to it. All that's left is the taste. Okay, test, okay. So, how's our turkey taste? It's nice and moist. The skin's got a lot of flavor to it, although it's not crispy, because I'm used to eating fried turkeys, and it's definitely not that. It's good.